All right. Hey, everyone. I am here with James Feaheny. Hey, James, how are you?
Good morning, Jennifer. I'm well.
Good. Thanks for being on. So, James is the broker owner of Brookview Realty in Michigan. And we were talking, and you have, it's the CRES
It's uh,
designation.
it's actually SRES,
Oh, right. S.
and it
Right.
stands for Senior Real Estate Specialist.
Okay.
I've had it for about 4 years now, and I've really been growing my business using mostly that designation.
Well, let's talk about that. Like, what are some of how are you using the designation to grow it? And what are some of the nuances that people should consider if they're thinking about focusing and having a niche on seniors?
So I'll step back. One thing that kind of pushed me towards this niche is in 2016, my dad passed away. My mom was already in senior living. She had
Hmm.
Alzheimer's. She was in a memory care.
Hmm.
So we had to sell my parents' place, and they lived there for over 30 years.
Wow.
And as most people who lived in the house for that long, they've got a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
It takes a ton of time just to get the house ready for market.
Right.
I did represent, I was the listing agent for that sale, but it took about 3 or 4 months, primarily because me and my siblings, we have sentimental attachment to things. It
Hmm.
takes a lot longer just to get ready to
Yeah.
show the house and list it.
Right.
So after I sold that early in 2017, I said, I feel like there's a need that people can use my services, especially if I grow it. So I got my designation early in 17. And I've just been really trying to market myself to different referral sources that gives me leads to help seniors when they have to sell that last home.
Yeah. Do
Because there's
do
a need
you
for it.
think that because we fight about this on the podcast,
Okay.
having the designation or not, like what value, obviously you found it valuable, but like what was your thought process and do people really ask you about it?
That's a good question. I mean, it's on my business card, it's on some of my marketing material.
Mhm.
But early on, people would ask about it. Once you're established, like this is my 5th year doing this,
Mhm.
and I devote most of my time into growing this side of my business.
Mhm.
Usually, you don't get asked. Usually, by the time you get referrals, they kind of know you have an expertise in helping seniors sell their last
Right.
home.
Right.
Now, there are agents that have a lot of different designations, and they really don't specialize in one of those designations.
Mhm.
So, in that sense, it's probably not even worth it to have a multiple unless you're really focused on one or two, maybe.
No, that's actually a really good
You can
perspective.
be a
I didn't.
master of a lot, but master of none.
Yeah, exactly. What are some of the ways that you are marketing to seniors to like get the listings, get your name out there?
So I do a lot of marketing with home care companies,
Hmm.
senior communities, senior centers. A lot of cities have senior centers.
Hmm.
Um, I do some direct marketing to 55 and older senior communities. There's just so many different ways. Attorneys, like attorneys that work with estate attorneys, right?
Hmm.
So a lot of times they're working with seniors as they get ready to sell the house at the end of their housing career. Um, on the SRES, it kind of covers really 50 and older. So
Okay.
some senior real estate specialists focus on the downsizers.
Hmm.
I don't really focus on that as much. I'm really focusing on selling the last home. So a lot of my clients are 80 and 90 years old, right?
Wow.
And in that regard, we have to work a lot with the kids and the grandkids because there's a lot of people involved in selling grandma or great grandma's house.
Right.
And one thing I learned early on is it's important to have everybody on the same page, knows what's going on.
Yeah.
You might have relatives all over the United States that are involved in some way in selling that house, even if
Yeah.
they're not in Michigan.
If people are thinking that they may want to specialize in this, what are some of the things that you either want to caution them about or say, like, if you're this type of person, it's going to be better for you than if you're like this type?
That's a really great question, Jennifer. I think you have to have really good listening skills. Obviously, as real estate agents, you have to be a good listener to be successful.
Right.
But when you're working with seniors and you have to really be patient and have great listening skills because a listing appointment could take 3 4 hours.
Yeah.
They want to earn your trust from that day one because they don't trust a lot of people, right? Our seniors are scammed all the time.
Yeah.
So they want to sit with you for 2, 3, 4 hours. I set aside a whole morning or whole afternoon sometimes for a listing appointment.
Wow.
And then once you do earn that trust, then they're going to trust you to, if you say, we need to hire a handyman to fix some, maintenance that hasn't been done in years, that because we want to make sure the house passes the inspection. So they'll say, okay, Jim, I'll go with you. If you refer that handyman, I trust you, and I'm going to trust that handyman. And that's one of the reasons why there's deferred maintenance. They don't trust anybody to get in their house for years and years and years. And other referrals we give are people that help to sell the accumulated stuff, estate sale companies, attorneys sometimes. A lot of different referrals that I've built up in the past 5 years. When Tracy and I started this business 5 years ago, we tried to do a lot of it ourselves.
Yeah.
But you got to specialize in what you know best, and that is selling the real estate.
Yeah, because I think that is kind of a mistake that as agents, we may want to be like, well, we want to help everyone. But you actually can make more money if you narrow it down and say either these type of people or these group of people, then you can make more and go like a little bit deeper on that, part of the population.
Yeah, and you probably know that that's not the only real estate I sell, right? I sell, all ages of real estate, and I work with all generations of people.
Right.
But my passion is to help seniors and their families sell their house. So that's what I do. Most of my marketing efforts towards growing that business.
Right.
And the rest of the business just comes by.
It'll just come, right? But that's the thing, like you only have there's only a finite budget, right? And finite time to work that marketing plan. So instead of having 20 different marketing plans, it's better to just have like the one or two that's just really you go all in on.
Yeah, I believe that fully. Yes.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. Well, I really appreciate you being on. I think it's an often maybe overlooked portion of the population that I think if you are passionate about it, it is a specific type of person. It would not be me. It would be more like my partner, Alan. He has his, I think he has that designation too, or something with probate. He's like a probate expert. But if people have a referral for you in Michigan, or they have just some more questions about how you're doing your marketing and things, what is the best way to get a hold of you?
So I'll give you my cell number, because I always have my cell phone, don't we all?
Yes, it's if you answer it or not you, agents, but everybody else.
For sure. So my number is 586-201-5193. And I respond to text messages too.
Okay.
And then my email address is my first name, James, @brookviewrealty.com.
Awesome. Well, thanks again for being on. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. It's great chatting with you, Jennifer.
Have a great day.
All right. Bye.